or would you go to a sex party?
I have been to a sex party, but
Tell me everything.
I mean,
Eyes wide shut?
it kind of,
Yes.
but take it down several notches. There was no Tom Cruise there. So I used to work on a show as a producer, a documentary series that dealt with sexuality. And so this party that I went to was in San Francisco. And I was there as a journalist. Like I was there covering it.
So much fun.
Right? It was pretty fun. It was pretty interesting. So basically this party was started by this kind of like swinger guy, because his name was Sean, who he went to a lot of swingers parties and he found that the same dynamics that happen in real life at bars were happening in the swinger scene. Meaning that the most attractive, the youngest, the most fit were chosen first, and anybody who didn't fall into those categories was sort of left behind often. So he came up with this idea whereby he wanted to have a party where everybody had sex in the dark. And so he called it Darkness Falls.
Oh my God.
And he set it up in this kind of, like it was like actually a theater in San Francisco. And basically what it was is he had participants come in and they had to crawl through this kind of hole, I guess in varying states of dress. And there were mattresses all on the ground in this room. And there were little boxes with condoms that had like a kind of light up tape around them so you could find those. But other than that, it was just like you were supposed to let your touch be your guide. And there were rules around consent and all that, but he thought about things. But so what I was there doing, I had to sit up in this sort of area and I couldn't see a thing. But I had a camera guy there who was shooting with that kind of night vision.
Yeah.
Exactly. With the Paris Hilton cam.
Wow.
So I was sitting up on this stage and things started and I'd seen the participants coming in. There was like 15 or so people or 20. And all I could do is hear and smell.
Oh no.
As it kind of evolved. And I remember having this thought while I was in this room, just being like, I wonder what my mother would think of me doing this right now. I had that thought. Anyway, all this to say that at the very end, as they were kind of wrapping up, this one guy came and jumped up on the stage behind me. And I couldn't really see him, but I remember that he was this sort of like skinny kind of guy. He looked like a kind of neo-hippie guy, dreads.
Sure.
And he said, Are you just an observer of sex, or do you like to be a participant of sex? And I was like I wasn't. I just wasn't into it. It wasn't my
That's the
vibe.
thing, right? Like, I feel like we can imagine what we want and our fantasies, but I think if the reality is a little different than the fantasy. Like, I remember growing up, and my friends and I used to walk by Wicked. Do you remember Wicked?
Yeah.
We used to walk by Wicked all the time and be like, should we go in? No, we're not gonna go in. Should we go in? And then there was once where we did go in, but we stayed on the ground floor.
Which is just a bar.
Which is just really a bar. But it felt so naughty, even just to be on that ground floor. I think if we would have taken it any farther, it would have ruined it for us. It was just the excitement of knowing that something was happening up there and that we were close to it that was kind of fun. Just like the fantasy is almost better than the reality. I think if I were to be part of a sex party like every Saturday night, it wouldn't be my thing. Like you said, the smell, I don't know if I could actually do that. Although I'd love to dream about the idea of it.
I think you can, like, that's what it is. I think some people are wired that way, where they can actually be turned on by just a person, or the danger of it all, or the forbiddenness of it all is the thing that gets them going. But for me, like, I think you need to know yourself. Like, I need to know people and be attracted to them first, and then I also don't think, like, I think you have to be an exhibitionist of it. If you want to do even this one in the dark, everybody was turned on by the idea that obviously they knew we were there. They knew we were going to be watching the footage.
Yeah.
So that was a kink for them too.
Yeah.
But if you all are like into, for me, the attraction of privacy is more my, like, if I had to put my finger on it, it's just that it's not.
When someone really likes you because of you.
Yeah,
and versus just like, oh, she's someone that has sex with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or I want to see other people around me while I'm having sex. I need the optics of multiple people around me.
Too much.
Too much.
I had a good time.